There's one. Yeah. It's a better one. Put that in there. Oh, he's feeling lighter, but good God, he's not. No, that's a good one. Oh, shit. There we go. Thank you. Oh, shoot. He's going to be close, huh? Hit in the head. That's why he felt so heavy. Thank you.
Yeah, he's going to be close. You're welcome.
Sorry. Thanks. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man, I think he can do it.
Oh, yeah. Well. Oh, golly. Touching. There.
Oh, yeah.
Wait. Get that mouth shut.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a keeper. Boy, he's top tail. They slide it, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're good.
Yeah, that's good.
Hell, you got a 32nd of an inch there.
Huh?
You got at least a 32nd extra.
36. Thanks, man. Hopefully. If we can just grind it out in here, man, without any other boats. My other area that I think has got some bigger fish in it has just, dude, there's a bunch of boats in there.
Yeah.
And I think I'd rather get a limit, you know, and have a place to go to like this, and then, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that fish was, yeah, I would say he either came off the dock or just he was like right here. Needed that little breeze though to get that jerkbait. I think a little better bite, you know. Yeah. Man, all these fish though, dude. Look at that. They've all been shad eaters, man. I have not. Like my fingers have been tore up from even the little ones. They're just teethy. With how tough this tournament's going to be, dude, I think of every fish has 30 places up. Like, I mean that, too. Yeah. Like, I mean, like, one fish, I just beat 30 guys, you know. At least 30 guys, I think, will blank today.
I would say you're right.
And then, you know, a second fish, 60 guys. So it's just a... And probably on the coast side, it's probably, gosh, even more, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Every fish you catch matters so much. There's one. Good one. Barely hooked, man. I didn't know it was a fish. I thought it was brush. He's barely hooked. We're gonna take our time.
Oh, good one.
Okay, yeah, easy now. It's nice to have a pro netter.
Don't say that.
Easy. Thank you, sir.
Hello.
Give me some. Dude, let's freaking go. That's a chunky one. That's the one you're talking about.
Heck yeah. That's a solid fish right there.
That's a good one there, dude. Thank you, sir. I'll get that. You're good. You're good. Thank you, man. I'm just gonna box. Yeah, that's the biggest fish I caught all week, dude.
Nice.
Tell you how tough it is.
Good way to do, a good day to do it.
That's one.
Fish?
Yeah. I think it's big crappie.
Yeah. Nice fat crap. Gosh.
Classic. Jesus, that's a good crappie.
Freaking eater and a half. Golly.
Oh, God.
Should have brought the fried daddy in some grease.
No shit. That's a nice crappie there. Good God.
River hell.
And all the birds and stuff have done great with all the shad die off.
Oh, yeah. Buffet, man.
Fish. Good fish. Oh yeah. Take our time. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Good job.
That's number 3, man.
Yes, sir.
It's not quite like the other one.
I think he's a 16-inch fish at least.
He'll go though, for sure. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Double check it.
There's one.
Oh, yeah. You're on him.
Oh, he just went sideways. It's a shad. I'm sorry. dude.
Oh, no problem. Big old gizzard.
Yeah.
That's why those guys throw those 10-inch freaking glide baits and shit.
Literally. Boy, I thought that was another good one. I said, okay, we can do this. Stunned and he's about to get smoked by a 5-pound largemouth. Good one.
Outside.
Act like he's full grown. Sir. Give me something, dude. We're getting ourselves working on a couple of them, aren't we?
Nice job.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks, buddy. He's only been, yeah, he's over 15.
Oh, yeah, he's, yeah. Dude, you're putting together.
It's not a 5-pounder, but it's maybe a pound and a halfer. It was a bass though, a bass or a crappie. Got a crappie too. There's a lot of multi-species in here.
Right.
But man, after those last 2 fish, you'd figure. That's a really cool looking house.
Yeah.
It's fancy. Triple decker. Wait, quad decker? That's like there's 4 stories.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like we got a bottom walkout down there.
There's one. Yeah. Mikey. Yeah. Maybe he'll keep. Oh, shoot. That's it. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. He's gonna be close.
What the heck happened there? It just came out the end.
I don't know. I think we'll be able to jam that second back in there.
I don't want to mess with them. I'll let you know. You're good.
Oh, he's gonna be, I think, not gonna go there, but oh, no way. 14. Largemouth, right? Yeah. Yeah, let's see. Good one. Thank you, sir. There you go. Limit? So, dude, I think so. Chunky. These fish are chunky. Yeah. Now I see what you're talking about. Yeah, he's not that long. He's just
chunky. Yeah, he's been eating.
He's been eating okay, hasn't he? There's a basket.
That's on the old Pro Blue, isn't it?
No, this is that same color I've been throwing.
Oh, okay.
It's not Pro Blue.
Yeah.
I like Pro Blue, though. Hide this fish from the guy. Damn. The only nice thing about the fish this time of the year is they are so calm when you catch them.
True, yeah. They don't go boy.
Colder tonight?
What's that?
Did you see that it's supposed to get a little colder tonight?
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I'm hoping it doesn't affect things too much.
Yeah.
Tomorrow will be like 50s, but I can't imagine it will. That feels like
Crappie?
feels like it. Well, feels like it. It's in between now. Well, still haven't seen him yet. Big old lady. Yeah, crappie.
Yep.
I guess I can see that shine.
Big skill and big suckers over there.
It must be, dude. Good golly. Man, I need to, one of these days, man, I keep saying I'm going to throw them in the live well.
Yeah. My side's empty. We need to start throwing them in there.
Dude, I tell you what, you'd have a good bag of crappie right now if you could weigh those in.
Okay. Copy?
Yeah. It's a crappie. Little crappie. Holy hell. That's not what we're after.
No. What's crazy is that's
keeper. That's about a 9-incher.
Wow. Yeah, all those other ones are the megas.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Time to go, isn't it?
Well, I was just really trying to think to get rid of that okay fish.
That line burner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that line burner.
Okay one.
Come out of that little PVC pipe pile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably not even keeper, huh?
Yeah. Even if he is, I don't think he's 14. Yeah, he's no way. Even if he was 15, he wouldn't help him.
I don't think he would.
Someday with the red kicker blade on there, that's the one.
Fish up here sunning himself or something.
Yeah.
There's one good one, dude. Oh shit. Oh, he's over 4 pounds.
Fucking head right there. Check it out, he was.
Thanks, sir. Holy shit.
Good call on picking up the spinnerbait.
Good? Yeah. Well.
And that?
Yeah, no.
find somebody a little bit bigger to play.
Little guy, I think.
Little guy.
Oh yeah, little guy. Crappie. That's some of the big dude. Still been catching so many weeds too next to him.
Oh, look at there. It's a keeper crappie.
That's right. That's a better one. Let's get the net there. That's a good one. There we go. That's one, man. That's one.
Are you seeing them on your LiveScope out in front?
Dude, you know what's crazy, man? I think for me this entire week, and I'm okay with LiveScope. I just got it last year, but man, dude, I cannot get bit on when I see them. I have to be. It has to be on a long cast. Yeah, it seems to be where like it's farther than I got it 75 feet out, and it yeah. Man.
Water's not live well. Being in the back of the boat, I do that just to, so I don't slow you guys down.
Appreciate that. There's one.
Good?
Yeah.
See, I just need to get you back here and get that right casting angle.
Exactly right. Go this way. Oh yeah.
This is working out well.
Yes, sir.
You catch one, I catch.
Yes, sir. That one's smaller than the other one, though, I think. Let's see if it can go.
Be close.
There's one. I got a mouth open. They feel a little heavy. Tell you what, though, he had it. He wasn't sure.
Yeah, he ate that right.
We'll stay a second. We'll just start going right from here.
Okay.
Good one. These small ones feel like big ones because they shake their head, and the big ones just being.
They just
There he is.
Still there?
Yeah, he's still there.
There you go. Ooh.
just barely.
Every time now, that's a good one.
We came up on the net, man.
Is that on that E2 color? No.
No.
Nice one. That's a good one, dude.
That.
Is that number 3?
That's that one.
That might make your final
Might
place.
have got me in the top 10.
I think so. Because here's the deal, 2 of yours are big ones. Nice work, dude. There's one. Nope. That's one. God. Dang it.
Oh crap! I gotta get this out of the net quick.
God, I need to get freaking 5 in the boat.
4?
Huh?
Yeah, 3 or 4.
3. 3, that last one.
I think this one's called a metallic shad.
Yeah.
And do you guys have like the gizzard shad and the red?
We got little shad, man, not like this. That's why the fish are so small. Thanks, sir.
Join the team. Come on.
It's a little warmer now.
It is.
The bobber bike's on now, yeah. Yeah.
Things on
You know? Good?
Yeah. I think so. Now he's got it.
Good one. Okay.
Hey guys,
figured I would do a little recap video on Lake of the Ozarks. We're back in the garage, Colorado. Got some snow coming, I guess, this weekend. So it was nice to travel days and everything, even the tournament. Pretty nice conditions for Lake of the Ozarks being in March. Glad to have that. But figured I would do a little recap video on the tournament. I'd like to incorporate more of these. I've got the GoPros going on the boat this year. So hopefully we can do kind of incorporate how the event went, what tackle I used, walk through the event itself, and just do kind of quick fish catches and try and break down what was going on during the tournament. So ended up finishing 26th overall out of 146 boats, something like that. I was happy with that finish, cashed a good check, and points for the Toyota Series Championship at the end of the year are going to be important, and got a lot of solid points in that event. So I guess let's do a little breakdown on how I caught them. The tournament was brutal. It was absolutely brutal. Man, it was freezing each night, the lake entirely almost, especially all the pockets. You would wake up the next morning and wait for a boat to break some ice to get out of a ramp. It was crazy. I've never experienced that before. We fished some cold tournaments in Colorado early in the year, in the spring, when the water temps are maybe a little warmer than that, but water temps were like 37, 38 degrees. And so that lake was refreezing each night, which was crazy because it was like 70 during the day. It was beautiful. But it made practice kind of hard because you didn't have all that much time to run around to pockets without ice on them, or you had to dodge ice through the main lake. And man, some guys I heard tore up their boats. I took it pretty slow and just followed guys or kind of took my time. But fishing was tough. I was catching fish out kind of in the middle of channels, both with LiveScope and then also just making really long casts with a small swim bait. In practice, catching short fish, catching a couple spotted bass, doing that, and thought, man, I may need to rely on these spotted bass. And the final day of practice, I got up early. A lot of guys weren't getting out there super early just because you couldn't run around too much. Made my way up the lake and found a pocket that didn't have ice on it. And I figure the water temp's got to be a little bit warmer going into this pocket because every other pocket I've passed so far has got ice for the most part on it. And you can still catch fish in those pockets after the ice came off, but I was like, I got to go in here in the morning. I got to have some place to go to where it's not going to be iced. So anyways, got into there and kind of ran through the center of it, caught some fish out in the main channel, in the gut, and started working on the last bank going in that was steep, and there were some docks on it. And there was, anyways, I got a fish on it to my first keeper of practice over 4 days. First keeper, like a 2.5 pounder on a jerkbait. And I thought to myself, I don't really have much else going. I found a couple areas that I thought had everything right, had the bait, was warmer water, had to have fish there, but I couldn't get bit out deep. So I ran with it during the tournament, got in there and started catching them right away in the morning, throwing a jerkbait. You can see this one's pretty chewed up, but that was the bait I was primarily using. That's a Megabass Vision 110, pretty standard, as you can see, kind of chrome color. I think its color's called M Shad. Just a color I got a lot of confidence in. That one's really beat up. That's caught a couple 6-pounders in Clear Lake in California, and just a lot of fish for me over the years. But it's busted now, and we'll talk about a little bit about that in day 2. But anyways, those fish were hanging. It was a sunny day 1 of the tournament, and they were on some of those docks and in the brush out front of those docks. And so I caught my first 2 keepers right away, and then after that, I kind of just worked my way around that pocket. And what I ended up figuring out was there's a couple brush piles in the center of that thing. And I noticed when I threw over them and would hit the wood itself or come close to it, that's when I got some really good bites on the jerkbait. And I had my limit by 11:30, and was like, man, I had 1 keeper in practice. This is going pretty good. So was pretty pumped about that. ended up, I had one squeaker, so I figured I need to cull him out, and then I can go run some of the stuff that I thought had fish in it, or just run more stuff during the tournament, right? Find some new water, give myself some of that cushion, because I knew this tournament was going to be really tough. It was good to just have a solid limit that early. And so that allowed me to kind of do my secondary pattern, or really was a key fish. It was about a 4-pounder up in some muddy water. I found this other area in practice where the water temp got all the way back to 53 degrees in the back of it. There's a river coming in, and Lake Ozarks has a bunch of creeks and rivers coming in. And part of me was thinking, okay, some of these have to have some warm water in it. It's muddier, yes, which makes it hard. But if it's warmer and there's bait back there and there's life, then there's gotta be fit bass in there. And so ran to the back of a pocket, and the water temp got all the way to 53 degrees. So main lake's like 39. Other pocket that's a little warmer is like 42. This one was all the way to 53. And so there must have been a spring or something. There's some springs, I guess, Lake the Ozarks as well. So I didn't get any bites in there in practice. And my co-angler and I we spent 3 hours in there in practice and caught a bunch of white bass. There's a bunch of shad actually getting busted. And we never caught a largemouth in there. And just think to yourself, like, there's got to be one here, right? So that was probably my best adjustment, was thinking that there's got to be one there, just having that kind of gut feeling to do that. But so I got in that muddy water and just picked up a spinner bait, and that is, I think, an Accent. It's Jacob Wheeler's spinner bait. I think it's an ounce, with that Oklahoma kicker blade. But just a good muddy water technique is a big spinner bait, just that thumping action, mimicking some of that big shad, those big shad. And man, 6th or 7th cast, I caught a 4-pounder on that, and it was like, man, now we got a little bit of a bag. So caught a couple of short fish, ran a couple other pockets that day, went back to weigh in, and we were in 13th. So that was sweet. Day 2 was a little tougher. Those fish in that primary pocket that I left, again, just with the concept of coming back to those fish the next day during the tournament, hopefully the third day, to make that top 10 cut. It was a cloudy day, it was a colder day. Some of those fish still went down that dock, caught a couple off those docks first thing in the morning, a couple keepers, and those fish weren't set up on the brush day 2. And I kind of figured that'd be the case, when you get that sun that's high, those fish like to sit in that brush. But I figured they would have kind of pulled out deeper into the channel. So I started going out there with the jerkbait, and I got one short fish, and time's kind of going by. And I'm like, man, where do these fish go? They still got to be in here somewhere. Ended up pushing shallower and catching those fish right on the bank, like 2 feet of water and maybe 3 feet. And so I think that even though the water temp's 42 in the back of that, maybe 39, in the deeper part of the channel, still really cold water, right? But it's still those fish, I think the internal clock just are working their way, getting ready to spawn. So started catching those fish. My co-angler caught some good fish in that shallower water. And I just